People think they need to travel to the deep Amazon to find unknown species, but they are very wrong. Go to your backyard and turn over a rotting log, find a harvestman, and look closely at its legs. There may be a bead of red. It doesn't move when the arthropod moves. Most people who notice it assume they are looking at a tick, a blood blister, or a clutch of eggs glued to the leg. It is none of those. It is a mite, and it's not a passenger. It has driven its mouthparts through the harvestman's exoskeleton and cemented itself in place, drinking blood, and it will stay there for an unknown amount of time and development. For decades, the assumption was that where the mite ends up on its host is essentially an accident. The baby mite climbs aboard, bites where it happens to land, and the pattern we see across the population is noise. But the distribution of larval mites on their hosts is not random. So what is it exactly? The mites all likely belong to the genus Leptus. We know of about 235 species of Leptus globally, but that is an extreme underestimate. In Leptus, only the larva is parasitic. It's parasitic in immature life, free living afterward. The larva eventually detaches, molts, and the post-larval stages become predators of small arthropods. So where is the Leptus mite the rest of the year? In the soil, mostly, and doing something entirely different. We think they have one generation per year. Reproduce in late spring, overwinter as adults. I say we think because there is very, very little research done on the life cycle of these creatures. Between the parasitic larva and the predatory adult sit two nymphal stages that do almost nothing as far as we know. Of the 235 described Leptus species, the great majority are known exclusively from larvae glued to a host, which means we have no idea what the adults of most of these even look like. Or maybe we do. We can't match the immature stages to the adult stages, or any of their intermediate stages. The major issue is that immature Leptus cannot be identified to species. They all kind of look the same. Every Leptus seen attached to the outside of an arthropod could be a different species, and we currently have no way to tell. And this is basically true for the entire group globally. The adults are in the soil, unattached, and nothing about an adult announces which larva it grew from. The only options currently solve the mystery of how many new species of Leptus are currently walking around people's backyards is to either 1. Build a gigantic genetic database of every collected Leptus adult and nymph and try to piece together which species are the same. We would end up with a bunch of genetically new species with no concept of what they look like or their life cycle, but at least we would have an improved count. Or 2, painstakingly rear out thousands of collected Leptus immatures into the adult stage and hope you don't accidentally kill them along the way. This would at least document every life stage, but would take an enormous amount of time. But let's return to the lives of these mystery mites. Does the mite choose where to bite? Well, kind of. Depending on the host, there appears to be a pattern. Most choose to attach to the tibia and femur of a walking leg. The chelicerae and pedipalps are bitten far less. So not random, but why these leg segments? The answer is not really about the mite, it's about the harvestman's hygiene. Harvestmen groom themselves through a process called leg threading, drawing a leg through the mouthparts, passing it between the bases of the pedipalps and the first coccyx, running each segment through, cleaning it like a wire. A leg threaded through the mouth cleans from the tip inward. Tarsi and metatarsi go through, trochanters and femurs do not. They are too close to the body, and the geometry of their body doesn't allow it. The distribution of mites on a harvestman is, in a large part, a map of where the harvestman cannot reach to clean. but some of these Leptus mites attach to the backs of their hosts. So what's going on there? Grooming is not the only defense the Harvestmen have, and a mite that solves this one problem inherits another. Some Harvestmen are prone to defend themselves with secretions from their stink glands. The stink fluid runs down the flanks of the Harvestman. A larva attached low on the side or forward sits in the path of that stinky flow, so some mites move to the backs of the Harvestman to get away from the chemical defenses. So what effects do all these blood parasites have on the Harvestmen? We don't know. Harvestmen carrying multiple mites moved normally and showed no signs of distress. No researchers have ever noted any signs of ill health or lack of fitness in the host. No one has ever recorded a Harvestman behaving aggressively toward a mite. The grooming that shapes mite distributions is routine maintenance, not a response to the parasites. The Harvestman appears to have no idea it's carrying anything. So a mite larva from a species we don't know anchors itself onto a Harvestman, and it is drawing blood from it in an otherwise unknown way. For a duration no one has measured, it will hold on to its host. Then it will let go, drop into the leaf litter, and spend the rest of its life hidden as a predator in the soil. And all of this is going on in your backyard.